Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. It's our 24th anniversary on the air, and we're celebrating it by paying tribute to our great friend Marty Milner, who passed away this past Sunday. And, wow, what great memories here, huh?
Boy, we're having a great time and lots of fun. And, I know somebody who was very special to the show and very special to Marty and very special to all of us and very special to me, too. And that's a very good friend, Ingrid Poole, who's on the line right now. Ingrid, good morning.
Morning, Ingrid.
Well, good morning, gentlemen, from Montana.
Oh,
all right.
How's the weather in Montana? I hope it's cooler than down here.
Well, it's absolutely perfect right now, and the colors are starting to change. And the interesting part about this is that Bill always wanted a place that he could take the family to hunt and fish, and so he found this spot in Montana, and he would be thrilled with how beautifully I'm moving it forward, and with my new husband of 2.5 years, who had hunted and fished with Bill. We'd known him for years, and after our respective spouses passed on, we had so much in common, and he grew up with a ranch, so it's a wonderful new chapter.
Oh,
awesome,
so
Ingrid.
Awesome, Ingrid. And we talk about our 24th anniversary, and who other than Bill Poole was our very first guest on the air. And I remember at the end of the show, Bill looks at me and he goes, "Kid, you got something here." And that kind of inspired me when here was the icon, the man, the dude who created sport fishing in Southern California says to me, "You got something here." It's like, okay, I better start pursuing this deal. And Bill, I owe a lot to Bill. And over the years, Bill was on the show several times and supported the radio show and you and Bill for a long, long time. And I owe a lot of debt of gratitude to you and Bill, and basically for where we are today with Let's Talk Hookup.
Well, I was listening to so many of the ads, and I would say a majority of them Bill had something to do with. He started Seaforth sport fishing in 1957. And some of the boats you mentioned, built the Searcher, the old Cape Polaris. I mean, it's one thing after another that he had his fingerprints on. He just loved and had a passion, not only for saltwater fishing, but he also loved freshwater and of course, the hunting sports. But his passion for the waterfront down there kept him from being able to spend as much time in Montana as he would have liked. But that's where his heart was, and as you know, he bought Fisherman's Landing in 1965, and the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history, as you say, and his legend lives on throughout the industry, and it is what it is today because of Bill Poole, so we're very thankful for that.
Oh, I'm just gonna close with a funny little story. This morning, I was looking at the clock because I didn't want to miss calling into the show, and I'm looking out the kitchen window, and the cattle had gotten loose. Somehow someone left the gate open. I ran out in my bathrobe and my bedroom slippers, and I'm herding cattle off the lawn, trying to get them back where they're supposed to go, and I'm yelling to my husband, and we finally got them. The whole time I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, I've got to get back to that show and call him.
That's classic. That's pretty good. Well, Ingrid, thank you for taking the time from Montana there to talk about the legend, Bill Poole, and we appreciate all you do to keep that legend alive.
Well, he is certainly big in the minds of many, and I keep hearing it today. It's like he was around as recently as yesterday. It's just a wonderful respect to a very special man. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for also doing all that you do and keeping that memory alive, but also the entire sport fishing business well in hand. Thank you.
Thanks, Ingrid. Ingrid Poole, live from Montana. Appreciate the call this morning. Okay, here's another guy that I first met yesterday. He basically put the whole service together yesterday. Was responsible for bringing all that happened yesterday at the memorial for Marty Milner. Bill Reinhardt. Good morning, Bill. Bill, are you with us?
Good morning, Pete. Yes, I am.
Did you make it home okay? You had a long drive.
Yeah, I got home about 11 o'clock. It was a ways.
Yeah, well, great. You did a great job yesterday basically putting together what a beautiful, beautiful service.
Well, thank you, and I agree. It turned out very well.
Yeah. Now, you're a retired LAPD lieutenant, right? And you were the technical advisor for Adam 12. Tell us about that.
Well, that's actually how I met Marty. Obviously, I had seen him in, the typical Route 66 and then the Adam 12 shows before I went on. I actually got there, I think, about the third year of the show. And I had gotten a call from a captain about working public affairs division, which didn't sound very appealing to me until he told me that it involved being the technical advisor on Adam 12. So I took that job and met Martin and Kent and Jack Webb and all the folks on the show, and it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it was. What was it like working with Marty and Kent? We heard Kent earlier in the show talking about his experiences with Marty. What was it like with those two? I mean, what great guys.
I bet.
Well, as you heard me say yesterday, the term Marty and Kent became one word. Everything was, okay, Marty and Kent, let's do this. Okay, Marty and Kent, we're done. Okay, Marty and Kent, the break. So they were as good as a team of police partners that I ever saw in my time on LAPD. Marty and I connected a little more on a social level because of probably our age more than anything. And he was a wonderful cribbage player, and we had many, many hours of as you know, in show business, there's a lot of downtime, so we would fill the time by playing cribbage, and had a great time with him.
Yeah, he's just a fun person to be with, and what an amazing actor. I mean, his lines were always spot on. You probably never really had to kind of talk to him about what he was doing, right?
Well, a couple of things. One, in the sense of police procedures and such, Marty was in his third year of doing it, so there was very little he didn't know. He carried himself as well as any police officer would have. I really occasionally questions would come up from them, and I would help them with them, but I dealt a lot more with the directors who would come and go and the extras who would come and go that really didn't know much about the procedures and such. Yeah,
and so you worked with Marty and Kent, and how closely did you work with LAPD? Were you actually still on the force when you were the technical advisor?
I was a sergeant at the time, and this was a full-time position that I did for 2 years, 2 seasons. The Mark 7 Productions paid my salary and another amount to the city to have me on the set. So it was at no cost to the city, but with Webb, it was just that important that someone be there to make sure that things were done the way they were supposed to be done.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, and then that started a friendship, a lifelong friendship. You started, what year did Adam 12 start?
I think it started around 1970.
Yeah.
I was there, I think, in 73. And, Marty and Judy and their family and our family started getting together and would go down to Fallbrook and go to picnics with them and different things like that. And my wife, Diane, and Judy hit it off well and still are friends.
That's neat. Well, Bill Reinhardt, who was the technical advisor for Adam 12, retired LAPD lieutenant, and really made things happen yesterday at the service. Thank you for all you did for Marty, and I know for all of us, his memory is going to live on for the rest of our lives.
Well, thank you, Pete. You did a great job yesterday. I know that people got a real kick out of hearing about you and some of your fishing experiences with Marty.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks very much. It was my pleasure, and we'll hopefully connect soon again. I appreciate the call this morning.
Yeah, you promised me a fishing lesson.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to take you fishing.
It's on the radio, so it's official now.
You're on. You're on. You're coming down, go fishing with us.
Okay, man.
Appreciate it very much, Bill. All right. Hey, Uncle Al is here. Al, good morning.
Hey, Pete. Good morning.
Hey, Al, you, of course, are Judy Milner's brother, but you talked yesterday at the service about how Marty was your best friend.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, great guy. And so talk about tell us a fun story about Marty and your experiences over. Of course, you knew him. Judy and Marty were married for 59 years. 59
and a half years, yeah.
And so you knew him for 59 years.
I got to thinking that Judy and I and my son Christopher, who was there in the audience, he's 60 years old, were the only three people at that wedding that were still around. You know? Yeah. But yeah, he was a good guy. And Judy came. Martin was on hiatus from Marjorie Morningstar. I had a couple of weeks, so they decided to fly back to Waukegan, Illinois, and get married. I was living in Green Bay with my family, so we drove down, and I didn't meet him till the day before he was married at our family church, the Methodist Church in Waukegan, and then but his mother and stepdad were there, and it was, a really good time, and he's such a good guy that we hit it off right away. And but he did love to fish, I tell you.
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories of life is fishing with Martin. He was sponsoring a fish tournament down in Los Barrios, south of La Paz.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, Los Barrios. I believe it was at Palma de Cortez or Rancho Leonero. Oh, it was Rancho Leonero.
Well, it was the one right on the large resort right on the bay.
Yeah, Palma de Cortez.
Yeah. With the family ran. And that was, I think there were about 25 or 30 people signed up, and he invited me along. So we went down there, and boy, it was just a terrific fishing experience. That place is just something else.
Yeah.
And I'd never fished ocean fishing before. But the first day, when you go out for 2 or 3 days, you get skunked or you get fish on the last hour. It makes for a tough fishing trip. But we went out the first day early, and we were out 4 or 5 miles in the Panga, and I was on the line. And just as I got settled, a fish ball came by. There were about 300 of those little black and yellow porpoises chasing the fish ball. You know how they used to do?
Uh-huh.
Just remarkable. I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And then the guide said, keep sharp. He said, the marlin will be following the ball, and he said, this is when they hit. And about the time he stopped caulking, I got a hit on the line. It was the first half hour or so of our fishing for the whole 3 days,
That's cool.
Wow.
And I brought in a nice 110-pound marlin. It was just so much fun.
Oh, man. Now then you're hooked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're hooked. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Well, then we fished later, of course, and I hooked up on about a 72-pound Dorado on that trip.
72 pounds. That's a giant.
And it, it was just, I fought it for about a half hour, and I just ran out of gas. I had to turn the line over to Marty. I didn't have the strength. He was a real strong guy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so he fought it for another half hour, and we got her in.
Yeah. Oh,
that
cool.
was one heck of a big fish.
That's a giant. I remember the photo of that.
Yeah.
You and Marty with that giant Dorado.
That's the next biggest that was caught in the tournament was 36-pounder, and everybody was oohing and ahhing over that. But the one that I caught was just, I didn't know they grew that big.
Yeah, 36, that's a nice fish, but check this out, huh? Yeah.
That's cool, Al.
Well, we had good rooster fishing, along the shore. It was just a wonderful trip.
Oh,
he was so kind to me like that and shared so much. But, of course, he didn't, when he was growing up, he didn't fish much.
Yeah.
And
well, he was working too hard.
well, that too.
Yeah.
And he didn't. His dad wasn't around that long to teach him, I suppose. But when we were growing up, our family had property in northwestern Ontario, and one of the properties was a remote fishing camp. It probably was the best walleye lake in Canada. Now, that's saying something.
Yeah.
And it had been an old lumber camp during World War II. My dad bought it for $300.
Wow.
And we either had to walk in about 4 miles at a portage, or we could fly in. Of course, as kids, we preferred flying in, but the fishing there was just terrific.
That's cool.
That's so neat. That's such a special. So many memories of Marty that we have and still have, and we're so fortunate. I feel fortunate myself, and I know Rick does too, to have had the pleasure of hanging out with Marty for all those years, and I know you too. And Al, we sure appreciate the time you took this morning to share some of the memories this morning of.
I just called
Marty.
Judy. She's listening to the show this morning, so.
Yeah, well, he's with us here.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah,
thanks
indeed, Al.
for inviting us, Pete. We appreciate it.
All right, Al.
Thanks
Al, thank you very much.
Yesterday. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Okay.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including checking with our catch reports. We're going to find out what's going on with our fishdope.com report. Lots of great stuff coming up. We're going to hear more great stories. You stay tuned. More Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Are you feeling that itch to get out on the water? Come fishing on the American Angler and reacquaint yourself with some familiar faces and make new friends. Captain owners Brian Kiyohara and Sam Patella take pride in every aspect of the American Angler operation, from their loyal and trusted crew to the sashimi-grade fresh fish you'll take home. It's easy to find a vacation that fits your schedule. We have everything from day and a half to 10-day trips and longer. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. We want you to become a part of the American Angler family.
The world's most amazing beauties are on their way, and touching is encouraged.
At the Lido Boat Show, September 17th through the 20th, with the finest collection of big boats on the West Coast for you to drool over.
Actually, please don't drool on me.
Free parking and shuttle service, low ticket prices, and if you find the boat of your dreams, finance there and bring her home.
I like decisiveness.
The Lido Boat Show, Lido Marina Village, Newport Beach, LidoBoatShow.com.
What a tuna and yellowtail season last year. Many say the best in 30 years. Could this season be even better? Don't be caught without the right gear. Now is the time to stock up on the trolling lure that proved to be the best. X-Rap Magnum by Rapala. Every X-Rap Magnum runs perfect right out of the box. They all have extreme action and a controlled deep diving aggressive swimming motion. The large diving lip partners with premium BMC hooks and an irresistible rattle. The X-Rap Magnum by Rapala can be trolled at high speeds without rolling or kicking out at depths to 15 feet. Bottom line, the X-Rap Magnum is the ultimate trolling lure for Southern California and Baja saltwater fishing. With a textured translucent body, internal holographic foil, and 3D holographic eye, X-Rap Magnums are irresistible to saltwater game fish. Available in a variety of colors and sizes. No matter what you choose, the fish can't resist X-Rap Magnum by Rapala. Ask your local tackle dealer which is the hottest color and size and start catching more fish. See the entire line at Rapala.com.
Do you like to fish? Have you ever seen the Eastern Sierra in the fall? Bishop has long been a great place to trout fish and experience the beauty of California's magnificent mountains. The Southwest Council Federation of Fly Fishers will be hosting the only on-the-water fly fishing fair in the western United States, Friday, October 16th through Sunday, October 18th. Even if you have never fly fished before, everybody's invited. Best of all, you're just minutes away from fishable waters. There will be an exciting array of 80 seminars, events, and classes for beginner and experienced anglers. You can learn about fly tying, casting, and specific on-stream techniques. Get a first-hand look at local hotspots in Bishop with some of the area's top guides. Entry is just $15 for all 3 days, and you can register online now and secure the events that appeal to you at southwestcouncilfff.org. It's fun for the whole family, so make plans now. October 16th to the 18th. Check the website for lodging information, southwestcouncilfff.org.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
You know, the ranch is unique. It's one of the few places in the world where you can still drive ATVs up the beach. We have fishing from the beach. We have dive trips that we run to Pomo in a number of different spots. Kayaking, of course, has been real big. We were one of the first hotels to introduce kayaking. The ranch is small, it's intimate. It's 34 rooms, so everyone gets to know everyone. The old saying, where everyone knows your name. Well, truly at Rancho Leonero, the employees do know pretty darn near all our guests' names. And what's even more interesting is most of the guests know each other's names. Very personal, very intimate, and a special environment. 2 miles of beachfront, a mile on either side of the hotel. Rancho Leonero is really the last of the old-style Baja fishing resorts. 1-800-646-2252. 1-800-646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. I'll personally guarantee your best fishing experience and vacation at Rancho Leonero.
Cast Tours is a family-owned and operated travel company that specializes in taking you to great fishing destinations. They take pride in providing the best and most affordable vacation packages available. For over 20 years, Cast Tours has been creating unique sport fishing and vacation trips. Whether it's a fishing trip, a family vacation, or an adventure, they will provide you the service and value you deserve. Call Cast Tours at 800-593-6510 or check casttours.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's biting out there. It's time for our FishDope.com report, which today is sponsored in part by Job Site Supply, specializing in the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing trades. Come see the full line of Louisville Ladder at Job Site Supply. Plus, they have the exclusive logo lock system in-house, which allows them to take your company name and logo and embed it permanently into the fiberglass to help deter theft and keep track of your ladders. Check JobSiteSupplyCo.com for more details. And let's start it off with the man, your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen's on the line. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rick. How you guys doing today? Sorry about Marty, but that guy was my hero growing up. One Adam 12. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was rad.
Absolutely.
But, hey, guys, we're going to talk about this fishing thing. It's amazing. It's getting better, and it's getting different. We had 79-degree water in spots yesterday. It's unbelievable what's going on out here. Lots of boats are seeing lots of wahoo. Schools of them swimming around the boat. There was a double jig strike yesterday on the 181. One fish was a wahoo. The other fish was a short-billed spearfish. Guys, there's millions of skipjack. If you can get a jig strike and get the boat stopped, you can kind of turn that skipjack into yellowfin. We have a phenomenal amount of that smaller grade yellowfin that have moved into our waters off of Dana Point here, from Dana Point on down to La Jolla. And it's mixed up with skipjacks. We get lots of jig strikes. What we're finding is if you control the smaller lures, the smaller jet heads, the ones that are about the size of your index finger, in an orange or a pink color, control them around at about 7.5 knots, you can get the boat stopped. We're dropping them back quite a ways, getting them back behind the prop wash to get the boat stopped on those skipjack. It's all about getting the boat stopped. Once the boat stops, chum some of those anchovies that most of the bait barges have right now. And if you can't cast an anchovy, then get a spinning rod and cast the anchovy, guys, because you got to cast the anchovy to get a bite. It's all about coming down to a smaller hook, a little bit lighter line, and getting that bait out away from the boat. And that is my report for today.
Man, there's
good
amazing
info.
fishing going on. And if you want to keep track of what Dave does and everything else, FishDope.com is a place. Save $20 on a new membership to FishDope.com right now by using the code HOOKUPNOW, lowercase, no space, HOOKUPNOW. And Dave, how do we find you?
You guys can call me at 949-374-0786. I think right now I got October 14th open.
Cool.
But I'm sure that'll go quick. But that's about all I got. I got a couple of charter boats I'm running. You guys just call me. We'll try to get you out on the water and get you fishing.
There you go. Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide. Thanks for that report. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Dave. Again, that catch report sponsored in part by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Summer fishing means it's time to call Fisherman's Processing. If you're on a private boat, call them the day before you go to make arrangements to drop your fish off directly at their dock or their after-hours drop. You can friend them on Facebook at Fisherman's Processing, or for more details, check fishermansprocessing.com.
And we're honored to have in the studio with us my good buddy for a very long time and general manager here at the Mighty 1090, Mike Glickenhaus. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rick.
We're talking a little history about Let's Talk Hookup. 24 years ago. What were you doing 24 years ago?
so long ago, Pete.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
remember.
I don't remember.
A lot of those years
a lot
are blurry.
Of between here and there.
I was actually with the mighty 690 in those days, as well as a bunch of other radio stations. I think 91X was our other station at that point of time. And I remember when we had that first lunch together, Pete, where you were working for some other radio station in town, and we were talking about what ifs down the road and for the future. And I said something like, so what do you really want to do, Pete?
Yeah.
And this is history now, that you're doing exactly what many of us, would love to be doing, just what we love, and turning it into a whole business. And congratulations on all your success over the years, and really turning this into, I'm not the biggest fisherman, but I can listen to your show every weekend and learn more about what everybody else is doing, and doing it in an entertaining and informative way. So you've done a great job.
Thank you, Mike. And then coming from you, being a great radio guy that you are, that means a lot to me. And I remember those days. I was working up in a station as a sales manager in Carlsbad, and you and Rob Quinn called me, a guy that used to work here. Rob, who's now up in Colorado, called me up and we talked about it. And I said, what do you think about moving this show to the mighty 690, which, like this station, was a powerhouse radio, 50,000 watt station, all sports. Let's Talk Hookup belong there. And you go, come on down, let's talk about it. And that's how it all started.
No kidding.
Sitting down with you and Rob, and we put a deal together, and that was in March of 1992. We moved the show to the mighty 690, and we were there till basically the station was alive with 11 years, I believe, or 12 years.
Something like that.
Because this station's been here since 2004.
Right.
So 2003. So 12 years. So we added up. That was 12 years there, 12 years here. So that's kind of how that all went down. And we haven't, fortunately, when we put the deal together back then, you were general manager, I believe, of that station too, over at Clear Channel, right?
Meant to be.
Absolutely,
it's just
yes.
the way radio is. It's like
we just circle back to each other, Pete.
Circle around, yeah. And so
cool.
the mighty 690 was bought by Clear Channel, and then Clear Channel, you worked for Clear Channel. You were the general manager there, and then you come over here and you worked the general manager here, and
we all like San Diego, and we find ways to stay.
Yeah, that's the key. And you're doing a great job here. Boy, the mighty 1090 is stronger than ever. Things are happening here.
And I've been here for just a little under a year now, and they did a great job of putting together a great lineup all week long, having the Padres and San Diego State and USD, and now we announced recently the San Diego Gulls will be back on air between 1090 and ESPN 1700. And so, but, you guys, I was listening in my office. Sunday's one of my catch-up days, sometimes that I don't have the phones ringing and the people lined up at the door, so I was doing some catch-up work this morning and listening to you guys, as I always do when I'm in here. And your Marty stories, I can remember walking down the halls of, speaking of the mighty 690, down when we were in our Pacific Highway building, another part of town, and, the first time I ever walked down the halls and Marty was coming at me the other way, and it was like the hair on the back of my neck stood up, because this is a guy like Marty Milner.
That's the man.
One Adam 12 and Route 66 and he stopped in the hall, didn't know who I was at that point, said hello, and we had a very nice conversation, and I can remember that, as vividly as walking in here today, because of the impression he made on me, and and you could tell in his voice every time he sat in your show, he was as passionate about this and about fishing as anything else he may have ever done.
No question.
And that was just great to hear. Again, somebody who found one of their callings and then just went out there and did it and hooked up, pun intended, with you and the show. And I can remember many of those shows and how entertaining they were with his personality and flair.
He added so much, and he took us to the next level. To have a guy like him on our broadcast, it was just like people. I remember often people would come up to me and say, oh, that's that show that Marty Milner's on. And I had no problem with that, right? You know, I don't,
sure
you
is.
know, it was like, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
sure
the show
is.
that Marty Milner's
Your
on.
screen credits weren't quite as good as his.
No problem with that. I was very, very proud to have Marty Milner a part of the show. So, Mike, thanks for making it possible
Thanks
here
for having me.
Let's Talk Hookup. We'll be here for another 24 years. We certainly
Amen,
hope.
brother.
All right.
Good luck.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that very much. Hey, here's another guy that knew Marty and probably taught him a lot about fly fishing, and that's Dale Hightower, who worked for Bob Marriott's fly fishing store for how many years?
Over a decade.
That's awesome.
Wow.
How cool.
Over a decade. And, and I was very privileged to be on that first trip down with Bob and Marty to do the show. And, I knew Marty through the shop, and, he was a good friend of Bob and traveled with him all over. But it was kind of cool to be a part of that, knowing where, Marty ended up on your show. So that was very cool. And I think he actually, didn't he coin the fabulous fishing Hightowers?
You're exactly right.
Yeah,
Among other things, the fabulous fishing Hightowers was a Martyism, for sure.
Yeah, it was funny. It's, after he left the show, I don't think it was ever said again. It was like it was a Marty thing when we were in studio with my dad.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's classic. Well, you're still the fabulous fishing Hightowers.
Yeah, I know. But Marty, that was Marty's deal. So I'll always get a laugh when somebody says that. I'll always think of Marty. And like I said, I was very privileged to, have worked in the shop and been around Marty. And then obviously be in studio with him and yourself. And a little story, I took him on a trip with a bunch of customers when I worked for Bob, and we went to Turner Flats, Belize, and Marty was on the trip. So I think there was 12 of us, and you don't even know how excited everybody was to have Marty on the trip. And everybody wanted to talk to Marty, and he was so low key about, he was down there to fish just with the rest of us, but he still talked to everybody about whatever they wanted to talk about. But I think we flew like LAX to Houston and Houston to Belize City, and we all flew coach, but we had a, small layover in Houston. And, Marty went up to the ticket counter and pulled a little Marty charm and came back and apologized because I'm sorry, everybody, but I kind of sweet talked my way into first class down to Belize City. He pulled a little Adam 12 on the lady behind the counter, and it was cute. It was one of those things. He didn't, he didn't overdo it.
As he should have.
He had
right?
the charm.
Yeah, he did have the charm, didn't he?
Yeah, he had the charm, and so he came back and apologized to everybody. He goes, I kind of got upgraded to first class.
Sorry,
That's
but
cool.
I'm not giving up my seat.
Exactly.
I'll send back the peanuts. Hey,
cool,
Dale, that's some great memories, and his memories of being with them and the fabulous fishing Hightowers and all that. Thanks for that memory, and thanks for joining us here today. We appreciate it.
Fun, Dale.
Yeah, and prayers to the Milner family.
Absolutely.
Thanks, buddy.
Dale. Appreciate that very much. Here's a guy that worked side by side with Marty for many years, and I apologize we haven't been able to get to many calls, and the phones have been packed the whole time, and we've had so much going on here. We're going to try and get to as many here as we can. But, of course, the first one we have to get to is Gary in Lawndale.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah,
Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Pete and Rick. First off, I'd like to congratulate you guys on 24 years and say how amazing, Rick, it's been to watch your career grow. Now you're part owner of Fisherman's Landing Tackle.
Thank you, Gary. It's been a privilege and an honor to get to be a part of the show, and this has been an awesome morning for me. This is a fun one. All the fun memories of being on Let's Talk Hookup with Dad, and all the fun times with Marty and yourself, and this is an awesome time. Thank you. That means an awful lot.
Marty really thought the world of you, but I'd also like to thank all the people that help us. Ryan and his dad, Dave Dolan, Bob Blum, Cowboy Gary, and Roger, the fireman, and behind the scenes, he's the Codfather, and he's like an ambassador for Let's Talk Hookup because he helped you get involved.
Oh, not helped. He was, it would be, Pete and Dad. That was the only way that I would ever have been a part of the show, for sure.
Yeah. And, Gary, we sure appreciate all the time that you invest in the show. And, of course, we don't want to forget Adam on the board there. He's such an important part of the show and makes it happen for us. Gets those archives up for those people that love to listen to our Let's Talk Hookup archives right away. He's amazing at that, and we're sure appreciative of it.
I'd like
Gary,
to share a little thing with Marty that we did when we went to Alaska one time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
Yeah, I was with Pete and Marty, Tom, and myself on a drift boat going down the Upper Kenai River, and Marty taught me a little bit about fishing stream etiquette because I was crowding him, of course. He had such an impact on my life, and he helped me be a better person in so many ways. But during that short fly fishing drift trip, we caught over 100 trout, and I'd like to be proud and say that we released all of them. I even remember Pete caught a really huge one, and the guy said, "Oh, that's only 6 inches short of being a trophy." I think it was a 30-inch trout.
It was a good one,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
But that's what hooked me on trout fishing, standing next to Marty and you and drifting the Kenai, and that was some pretty special memories. And Gary, I know it was a lot of great pictures I was looking through with you and me and Marty and Rick standing in the booth at Fred Hall, and just a lot of good times, a lot of memories, and we're going to continue those memories. And thank you for taking the time this morning, Mr. Big Halibut Gary White from Lawndale. Cliff in Lakewood. Yeah, I know you shared a lot of good memories with Marty, right?
Oh, yeah, I love giving that. We met Marty at the first place at Yo's parking lot, and shook his hand. I couldn't believe it. I was so soaked, and he's just a big guy and had a big heart and so happy and big smile.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Cool.
Well said.
Indeed. And
anyway, happy anniversary. I want to wish you the 24th anniversary, definitely.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Cliff. Appreciate the call this morning, and thanks for the memories there. Pablo in Chula Vista. Good morning.
Hey, Pablo.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging in there, Pablo.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Congratulations. It's been a lot of years I've been listening to you guys, and I want to thank Marty Milner because I always watched his show, and it was really a great show. I loved him with his Corvettes and everything, but hearing him coming over to your show is how I got tuned into you guys. And I just want to say thank you for everything. You guys teach us so much, what to do, what not to do, and courtesy. And, hey, I hope you have another good 20 years or so.
Thank you,
That's awesome, Pablo.
Appreciate the call this morning, and thanks for hanging in there. Dart, Captain Bob Fletcher, what's up, Bob? Did you buy anything at the sale?
You better believe it. I got a nice custom rod. I'm so thrilled that I got there in time to get one. And I just wanted to add my voice to the congrats on your anniversary and have a memory of Marty that I will never forget because I was a co-host one day, and before the show, Marty looked at me and goes, "Fletch, you don't have to worry. I'll take care of all the freshwater questions, and you handle the saltwater, and we'll be just fine." And that day, everything went smooth as silk, and he was such a gentleman, such a class act. It was just such an honor and pleasure to have the opportunity. I just want to add that to the chorus of stories about that great man.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. It was always fun, and he loved doing the show with you. I mean, it was whenever Rick and I both happened to be out of town, it was like Bob was our guy. He was our go-to guy and helped us and he's still our go-to
still
guy.
Is.
Anyway, and one thing while we're on that subject of our go-to guy, want to mention yesterday there was a question about the ocean enhancement stamp and what the purpose of the ocean enhancement stamp is. Give us a quick description of that, Dart.
Well, that was all to do with the white sea bass enhancement hatchery, and recreational anglers got together and went to the legislature and said, "We want you to tax us, but we want the money to go to a white sea bass enhancement hatchery." And so that's how the whole enhancement effort was born. It was about the white sea bass and funding the costs of running the hatchery, and that thing started at Arguello and went south of the Mexican border, and that was all about white sea bass enhancement for Southern California. And I think I can speak for almost everybody in saying I still love to buy that stamp because it means that whole hatchery program is working.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
And
That's awesome.
No problem. And for the cost of that thing, look at the sea bass we've been catching. Nobody should complain about that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Roger. Great
Dart,
show.
thank you
Thanks,
very
Dart.
much for your part and our tribute to Marty Milner here. Gabe and Ramona, just about 30 seconds left, Gabe, for a quick thought there.
Hi, Gabe.
Hey, guys, just wanted to add my voice. It's like Rick was saying earlier, every year or every weekend, we just plug into you guys and we get lots of information. It's like Fishing University. And then on shows like today, get an opportunity to catch up with old friends. So really appreciate all that you do for us.
All right, Gabe. Thanks a lot for the call, and thanks for hanging in there. And thanks for all the listeners that hung in there. And sorry we weren't able to get to everybody. And but, you know, we got a lot more show coming. We're coming, hopefully, for another 24 years for your phone call.
That's right. Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. It's been a lot of fun and a great time. And there's more of it. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Cedros Tackle has some great news. They are expanding to offer you new adventures to complement their fully outfitted tackle shop right on Cedros Island. Cedros Tackle will now offer kayak fishing and tours. The adventure includes deluxe accommodations in Cedros Tackle's own brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath cottage that provides all the comforts of home, yet gives each guest their own private space to rest after a long day of fishing and fun on Cedros Island. The kayak adventures include the use of fully outfitted Hobie Outback Mirage Drive kayaks, perfect for fishing, spearfishing, snorkeling, and more. Your Cedros Tackle kayak adventure includes transportation to a remote location, either by Ponga or truck. While you are out fishing, the crew will set up a relaxing day camp, including a barbecue lunch. Have the kayak adventure of a lifetime without the work. You just fish and enjoy. Cedros Tackle can even take care of all your equipment. So for your next trip to Cedros Island, try a kayak adventure with Omar, Jeff, and the gang at Cedros Tackle. For more information or to help plan your trip, check the website at cedrostackle.com.
Hey, this is Captain Paul Hebert from the Wicked Piffer. My brother Bruce and I make a living catching giant bluefin tuna. In fact, I wouldn't even go fishing with any other sunglasses than Maui Jim. Put a pair of Maui Jims on and instantly the glare is gone, the UV that can damage your eyes is gone, the ocean's true colors come shining through like never before. And with more contrast and clarity, you can see the bluefin at that critical time. Take it from me. Try a pair at your local tackle shop or check out MauiJim.com. You won't believe your eyes.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Aztecs.
He's gone. Touchdown, Aztecs.
San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
All right. Hey, our gift to you today was Marty Milner and the memories of Marty Milner. And we're so thrilled to have been associated with that man for 11-plus years and know he and his family and his friends that you heard a lot from today. So many more friends that you didn't hear from, and I know a lot of people wanted to share some thoughts out there about Marty. We'll never forget you, Marty.
That's right.
We know you're listening up there, and you're going to be fishing with us side by side forever and ever, and we sure appreciate that and all the support that everybody has given us over our 24 years on the air here. Again, Mike and the gang here at the Mighty 1090, Jim Sheehan, who's been my confidant and guy here at the Mighty 1090 for a long time, Adam, Ryan on the phones, been forever grateful to him, of course, Rock Cod Rick, and, of course, all our sponsors that make Let's Talk Hookup possible here on the air. We want to thank everybody, and, of course, last but not least, the listeners and the phone and the people, the actors the main cast of Let's Talk Hookup, and that is you out there, the callers and the people that listen and support Let's Talk Hookup. Thank you for all that. Thanks. We certainly hope we can be around for another 24 years, and thanks to you, Rick, for helping us keep it rolling.
Well said, man. I loved it. Great times and a lot of fun and some very fun memories today.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, all right, and congratulations to you. And we'll be back next Saturday and Sunday. Yes, indeed, the one and only Captain Brandon Hayward from the Bite Journal and One Man Charnels will be right here in the Mighty 1090 studios with us. And then next Sunday, the man himself, Captain Frank Lopresti from the Royal Polaris. Thanks for listening today. We'll be back next Saturday and Sunday right here on the Mighty 1090.